The P Market is the best place to buy retro games in Ontario, located at 2079 Carp Road in Stittsville and 109 North Front Street in Belleville. Hi and welcome to Project Extreme Review. Today I have a great Wii RPG that I'd like to review. I mean, this game is really good, but I wouldn't say that it's actually for everybody because I know a lot of people don't like watching a lot of cutscene, and this game is extremely story driven. So basically, you know, it's like 50-50. 50% you'll play, the other 50 you'll watch. But if these things don't bother you, this game you should absolutely try to find it if you can, because it is getting really tough to find. But my game today is The Last Story for the Nintendo Wii. The Last Story was released here in North America in 2012. I believe that the Japanese version was released in 2010, but I guess it's better late than never. The Last Story is actually a third-person action RPG, and it has stealth element and also with strategy. And it was directed by Hinorobu Sakaguchi. I don't know if I pronounced that right. He is the creator of the Final Fantasy series, so he actually left Square Enix and decided to do his own company, which is called Mistwalker Studio. And he did exclusives for Xbox 360. I believe he only released 2 RPGs for it. But I have to say that this is probably his best work since he opened his own studio. For its North American release, it was re-released by Exceed Games. So like I said, you know, this game is extremely story driven. And it's actually pretty engaging. The story is really good. So just to give you a quick heads up, you know what the story is about. You know, it's about a band of mercenaries that some of them wish that they could become knight. And the story gets really involved, you know, with love, betrayal, death. You know, typical JRPG stuff, but it's actually really well made. Now, it's also worth noting that the soundtrack for this game is absolutely, you know, the best, because it's made by Nobuo Uematsu, and he is well known for his Final Fantasy franchise. And I mean, this guy, you know, he can really please your ears. So yes, the soundtrack for this game is phenomenal. So this game has 2 types of control. You can either play with the nunchuck and Wiimote. It's actually, you know, not bad for controlling with that, but you could also use a classic controller, which, trust me, you should play it with that because it's less stressful, because you gotta unleash the second joystick to move your camera around. So no matter which control type you have, it works actually very well for both, but you should stick with the classic controller. Now the real star of the show here is really the combat. I've never played an RPG that had like an innovative new style of combat that I've never actually seen in an RPG. Combat is real time, and all you have to do is move forward, and you know they'll attack automatically. But it's just, there's more depth than just that. You can control a party of 6 members, and as you progress through the game, you'll unlock new commands to tell them. So you can tell someone like shoot a fireball at a pillar and the rocks are going to fall on the enemies, or you can tell them to defuse a magic barrier. And I mean, it just keeps going as you progress through the game. And Zale, which is the main character that you control, he uses a crossbow. And you know, that too really gives a style of strategy that I haven't seen in a action RPG like this. And you know, you can distract enemies and then plan an attack, and you know, it's really cool. And the game's always throwing new stuff for you to do. As you progress, you're always unlocking something new. So the combat just gets more and more intense, and you know, more strategy and more spells that you're learning. So you know, it never feels repetitive and boring. You know, they keep things fresh from beginning to end. You could buy armors and items and stuff like that. Which is really cool is that you could upgrade any weapon, and you know, it shows when you equip a new weapon. And when you upgrade a certain type of armor, it doesn't matter which armor you're wearing, but when you upgrade it, you could see it on the character, which is pretty cool. And one of my favorite things about this game also is the loot. You know, when you open a chest, you never know what's going to be in it. So the game, you know, randomly is just going to throw new stuff at you, like items that you could use to upgrade your equipment, you know, rare weapons, stuff that you have to go and identify at a store. So it's pretty cool to have that kind of loot in an RPG like this. Now, like I was saying, the controls are great, but the camera angle can get a little wonky. Especially, you know, when you're in tight areas and you can't really see well. You're gonna have problems every once in a while to see what the hell's going on, but other than that, it's very manageable. Now, we all know that the Wii is not a powerhouse system like the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, but this game is actually pretty you know, good looking, and its art style is what makes it, you know, go wow. But it does suffer from some major frame rate problems, you know, especially in heavy areas where the action gets intense or there's too many people on screen. You'll see a lot of hiccups. And, you know, that even shows in the control, you know, there's like a little bit of lag when things get a little hectic. Now, this game would have been really cool on an HD system because, I mean, as I was saying, the graphics are good. But you're gonna see a lot of, you know, low-res texture, and a lot of the times, you know, when you see character up close, they're not very well detailed and well animated. But beside those flaws, I mean, this game is really great. I mean, I haven't liked a JRPG in a long time, and this game really, you know, pulled me back in JRPGs. Now, the other thing I have to mention is that this game actually has online versus and co-op. So basically, you know, I think it's 2 to 6 players to do versus, and also I believe 2 to 6 to do co-op. Co-op is basically, you know, you're taking down the many bosses in the game. So I've never played this game online, to be honest, and I mean, it's not something that really interests me. I would be surprised if there's still people playing it, but I really think that nobody gives a crap about the online. Another thing that I should have mentioned earlier is that this game is actually pretty damn short. You could actually beat this game in about between 20 to 25 hours. Which is actually pretty short for, you know, RPG standard. Now, when I mean that it's short, it's just because, you know, you'll be on the same island the entire game. You know, it's not a very big world. You know, you got one main hub for a town, and then, you know, you got a castle, and then, you know, you're gonna have scenes like on the boat, forests, caves, you know, stuff like that, but it all has to evolve around the island that you're on. Now, the good stuff for this game, it's got an absolutely engaging combat system. The game is always throwing new stuff for you to learn, so it never gets old and repetitive. The story is absolutely engaging. It's really going to pull you in because you're going to want to see what's going to happen next all the time. And the soundtrack, of course, is absolutely great. You know, it might be even a soundtrack that you're going to want to download because you love it so much. And the bad stuff for this game. The frame rate drops often. I mean, it's a shame, but when things get really hectic, it really drops. The graphics, like I was saying, they're good, but because it's not on a high-res system, the graphics are somewhat poor. It really shows the low texture, and the animation could have been a whole lot better. But meaning that is running on the Wii hardware, it has absolutely its limitation, and it's just too bad because PlayStation 2 graphics are way better than this game. So there you go, guys. That's my review for the last story for the Nintendo Wii. Now the only great downfall to all of this is trying to find yourself a copy. This game has been released near the end of the life cycle of the Wii, and I mean they've only produced so many copies out there, so this could be an eBay trip if you want to play this game. But if you can also pass all these flaws that the game has, and that the fact that it's on the Wii, you'll find an extremely engaging RPG that you've probably never seen before in an RPG. So good luck finding yourself a copy of it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and thank you for watching.